Good morning and welcome back to Sun Up on 7. Just before the break, Renata and I gave a dynamic coach talk, as usual. You know, we ranged everything from escaping criminals to our Honorable Shine Barrow on the Wendy Williams show. And now we're keeping up the liveliness now. And you know NICH always brings the liveliness to our Sun Up coach. And here we are joined this morning with Miss Kim Vasques, who is the program officer of NICH. And we're discussing Women in Art 2022.
Yes.
So good morning, Miss Vasques, and welcome back to our coach. When we start think you like this coach, man.
Thanks for having me back.
after the third time, yeah, more.
No, you dance for the third time.
Now, what number is?
This is just the second
Second
time.
for her.
Okay,
yes.
so the third time you have to dance, and then the fifth time you get mug.
We
Okay.
have a guest today. They come up for the third time. Just tell her.
Ooh, okay.
Anyway.
I can't wait. All right.
That's not me.
How are you this morning, Miss Kim?
I'm good. I'm great. Thanks.
All
So,
right.
the necessary conversation and necessary movement
Yes.
of having women showcased in arts. Tell
Yes.
us a little bit about, you know what made you say, yeah, this is it. We need to do this.
Well, it's been happening since 2011 at NICH, at the Institute of Creative Arts. But Women in Art was around before it came to NICH. Okay, so it was not a new concept in Belize, right? It was the brainchild of then President Diane Haylock, right? Who, aside from being the president of NICH at that time, was very much involved in women affairs in her own personal life. And so it was something done as a part of the activities in Women's Month. And a way for us to empower and to salute the women in art. And over the years, we have seen where at first it began only with the visual art as an art exhibit. And then almost immediately we brought in the performing arts aspect to it. And we had some dynamic sold out shows. Some people might remember the Women in Art Cabaret that was at Old Belize. We had Divas and Starlets where we had the older and the more senior women in the arts partner with their younger proteges. And many people will recall that was one of the last stage performances with Lila Vernon. She was partnered on stage with Ernestine Carballo. And many people still recall that performance to this day. You know, it was one of their, I mean, that was the idea, you know, that these, you had somebody like Jackie Castillo with Miss Jenny, right?
Okay.
And right, so then, you know, those are some of the ideas we have done over the years. And it, like I said, it went on to encompass forums, workshops, fashion shows. A number of things have been done under the umbrella of Women in Art over the past decade.
I love
I love it. I love it that it's not only because some people may seem that or think art is just painting, drawings, sculpting, those things like that. No, this is performance, is music, this is dancing, this is everything captured underneath this, right? And I'm looking at some of the posters here.
Yes.
Or yeah.
Some of the things that we want to do. So the theme that we are working with this year is Reemergence, a kaleidoscope of creativity. And the curator that is putting all of this together is Brigida Haylock. And we were discussing this idea, this theme that she selected of the kaleidoscope. Because, you know, like we have renovations and repairs happening at the Bliss. So it is like a reemergence, not only physically, but in the symbolic sense as well, because we have not had a woman in art in a actual physical. Last year we attempted to do a virtual one on a small scale.
Right.
Okay.
Right? So we have not had a woman in art at the Bliss for a number of years. It had moved away from the Bliss because the Belize Gallery was locked, was shut down because it needed repairs. So it had gone to the Mexican embassy. It had been hosted at different venues. It had gone to the Museum of Belize. But for us at ICA at the Bliss, this would be a return to women in art. So the Reemergence theme also speaks as well to what women artists have gone through during COVID.
Yes.
And, you know, so we were talking about this discussion of the kaleidoscope, and we were saying, you know, a kaleidoscope is something when you hold it up to the light, everything looks beautiful inside. You see this beautiful image, but then it is shaken and destroyed and broken. But then a new image comes out, a new image emerges, and it is equally beautiful as what was there before. So that is the theme that, you know, she is working with. Of course, even though that is the theme, the women artists are encouraged to just to create openly. You're not committed to work with just that theme, right? So the call is out for visual art, for performing arts, for handicraft, and there's a lot of other activities planned during the week, as I said.
Wow.
That's. I mean, I love the symbolism behind.
I was just gonna say, like, hearing the story of, like, just, you know, the kaleidoscope, I'm just like, what? I'm picturing it in my mind. I'm like, you could tell when the, like, people that know about art, history, and all these things come together and create a team, because that's how it sounds.
Yeah, like if you
And
see
it's
this one
everything.
here, this is one of the more iconic ones with the snake, right? We've always tried to pick different themes, like the one with the newspaper and everything. The woman in art theme itself is always something fun and engaging, right? And over the years, we've done different things. Like I said, I remember 2012 when Chriselle danced with the snake from the Belize Zoo for the opening. You know, that's another one there where they were just like comic book. They were portraying, right? So there's always been different motifs that we've worked with. I remember this 2013 when the Bliss was taken under siege, when in the middle of the opening ceremony, the performing arts just burst in and the lights went off and people were like, what's happening? Is the Bliss under attack?
Oh my
So
goodness,
there is always something, you know, lively and exciting where women in art is concerned. And, you know, just to speak, you know, some people say, why this emphasis on women in art? I mean, is it just something you do for Women's Month? And, you know, maybe I'm biased, being that I am a woman.
Same,
but
I'm trying not to be.
Whenever we have this event, you know, and the women come together, we always say that for us to be women in art, it does present some unique challenges.
Yes.
All artists have challenges, right? Actually, I think in any career field you choose, you will have challenges. But for women in art, you know, you struggle sometimes with the balance between being able to lead this creative life, to be sometimes the breadwinner in the home, and if the creative life cannot meet up to that, and then sometimes you are also the mother, the spouse. And overall, through the pandemic, I think women have struggled. A lot of women left their careers and returned home just because sometimes there is no one there to take, because the school was out.
Right.
School is just coming back. And so, you know, the burden of childcare and everything fell to and they felt compelled, many women, to leave. And we saw this happen with women artists, where many of them took other jobs. Not because they did not want to be creating during the pandemic, but because it was just not sustainable. And so this is a call for them to come back, and they want to come back. No artist wants to not be creating, right?
Of course.
You want to be able, if it's music or if it's dance or if it's visual art, you want to be doing what you love to do, you know? So that's, I mean, like I said, we want to also focus as well on some workshops. We are partnered with Beltrade, and there will be regional workshops, full days of workshops to help you to come back, to develop your business model. We're looking at topics like bookkeeping for the creative entrepreneur.
I love
you know,
that.
a lot of times, a lot of artists struggle with things like costing and pricing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of creatives are still at the point, well, give me where you go, where you got your budget for PME? How much you can afford for PME?
Yeah, they're not costing on how much it costs for the labor, for the supply, whatever it is they're doing.
You go to a dentist and the dentist tell you to fix the tooth, it will be $200. You never haggle with the dentist. But people will beat an artist down to nothing.
Yes.
That is so true.
Nothing. And the first thing they will always ask if they want to book a performance, is there a cost? You want charge? Did they charge? Of course. This is what I do for a living. I have bills just like you.
Right.
So, and then like, many people don't realize that I show up to perform, I show up to sing. It costs me to get
reach
there.
To whatever attire you're wearing.
My attire, the time I spend working in the studio to develop my music, you know, my hair, you know, you might say, oh, it's nothing. But I am my own product. Right? I am the art, right? So then I have to, there is a cost, and they have to understand that too. that when you set a fee to perform, to dance, to sing, factor in some of these things. And so this is a part of the business development workshops that we want to have with them this year. And like we want to do them regionally, so that, you know, there is access countrywide to the different female entrepreneurs that want to attend.
I appreciate that because, like you said, I think naturally we're just like, oh, I'm just gonna go out there and perform.
Yes.
You know, I'm gonna give you a good show, but they don't think of like what am I gonna wear? Sometimes we have to do our makeup or we go to somebody professional. You're here to cost, you know, the shoes or whatever it is that you're getting to get to that place. If you have to bring your own equipment or something like that, all these things are actual costs that we have to accumulate together and then think about what you're getting paid, deduct that from it, and that would be your actual profit. But we don't really think about that sometimes because we're naturally just thinking, oh, I have to charge them 100 because of just one song or whatever it is that you're doing, right? But you don't really think about all that goes into it. And I like the change of atmosphere and mentality that's going to come with this workshop.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about the age range for it and also, you know, when would it be? Because I know you said it's virtual, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the workshops are not virtual. They will be in person, and that's why we're doing them regionally. And we're trying to have them in a proper classroom setting. Like I said, it will be a full day of workshops, and there are different topics that will be covered, right? I mentioned bookkeeping, business model, costing and pricing, and these are being provided by Beltrade. And those will be in person. The only thing that's really virtual so far, we are hoping that this will be the Women in Art Forum.
Okay.
That is this.
Because I know.
Yes,
I was like,
we did that last year, and we are hoping to have that again this year virtually. Simply because, not only because of COVID, but doing it virtually allows women to participate from across the country and to be there. And we had different topics last year. We recognized outstanding women in art. We usually have a guest speaker, a woman that has, you know, that we can hold up and say, okay, she's doing really well. Would she like to share her journey over the past year with us? Different topics we want to look at this year. One of them is mental health. So many creatives have struggled with mental health.
Yep.
And it's just been silent. It's just been silent. We talk about it amongst ourselves. You know, we had a program at the Institute of Creative Arts called Long Bench, where we would meet once a month to just come together and just talk as creatives. And a couple of times in there, we mentioned that aspect of mental health. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? Because so many people had projects, had ideas, had things they wanted to do. And, you know, they did not materialize. Or you would start to plan something, and then, you know, the numbers for COVID would go up. So overall, I think the pandemic has, you know, it's really taken a toll on mental health. So that's one of the topics we want to have. As well as we want to also have some smaller, some shorter presentations as well. Like I said, we really want to focus on getting women to see their art as a means of earning an income, as being viable.
How can women be a part of this? Who do they need to contact?
Well, the open call is up, and there is an online registration form. Okay. You're always, of course, welcome to contact us at ICA, to contact us at the Bliss if you need more information. But definitely the form is circulating, making the rounds. We've gotten a really good response so far. And I'm not surprised because Women in Art, like I said, it's one of the more outstanding, one of the more vibrant programs we've had at the Institute of Creative Arts over the years. And, you know, the female creatives look forward to it.
How many people so far have expressed their want to go in?
Well, I would have to check with Brigida to see, because one of her aims this year with the way she wants to do this is to dialogue with them as they are going along, because that will help her to put together the exhibit. So those that are expressing interest or know that they will participate are encouraged to reach out to Brigida, so that she can, you know, help to shape this overall vision that we want to put together for the exhibit. But I know offhand, because, you know, we put up as well, we want to have a return to theater and drama.
Yes.
Yes. You say you're used to in a festival of arts, and you're used to do your dramatized poetry. So this will appeal to you. Yes, we want to get back plays, and so we've selected a Doll's House, which has some strong woman-centered themes. and to do what we call readers theater. Because we're not to the point where we can get the whole set and pack the Bliss and everything. But there is a form of theater called readers theater whereby you still get the meaning, you still get the meat of and you get and what we want to do is do this over a series of sessions to prepare as women and oh wait, that is not only open to women.
Oh, that's everybody.
The play has roles for men. There are some male parts in there. So it is an open call to participate in the readers theater part of it, whereby every week we are meeting virtually to read a number of scenes, to analyze and to discuss some of those themes that were centered around women, things like being a wife and mother and the expectations that came in the past with that versus to where we are now. That's some of the discussions we want to have with that play.
I think there's a lot that's just been happening with Niche when it comes to just theater, for not just for women, for in general. And I really want to encourage our viewers at home to make sure they're watching out on the Facebook page.
Yes.
To check, because there's a lot of flyers that we were just like going through here. And I'm sure you guys always create a flyer to
just
know.
Always keep in touch. That's good to really keep abreast of the social media with Niche.
Because you guys post every time. And then also,
right.
I know that artists can be able, because you said the regional in-person sessions are supposed to be happening.
Yes, the
so
workshops will be in
definitely
person.
need to check out on the Facebook page for all of that.
All of the information that will be coming out.
A lot that happen, guys. Y'all need to keep abreast of it, because if not, you're going to miss out your chance, or you're going to miss out the chance for somebody else. And I always be big on the idea of sharing something, telling a friend, because there's somebody that always can benefit from something. You might think you don't even benefit from it. You don't know an artist or whatever. Okay, honey bun. How about we share that with somebody else? You'd laugh at my honey bun joke. I love saying my little words, but I just want to thank you so much, Ms. Kim, for being here, for sharing all this information. It's a lot for our viewers to digest, but I'm sure that you guys, again, can go right back on the Facebook page and understand and see what applies for you or somebody that you know and love. I want to leave off this thing. I sent this to Ms. Anne yesterday, and I was talking to her in general because they're doing an online school for arts. And I said, as you binge watch your 13th entire series, or read a book, or sleep to music, remember that in your darkest days, when everything stopped, you turn to artists.
Exactly.
And I think that's a beautiful note to think about.
Exactly. That's a beautiful thought. Yes.
That we turn to our artists at so much different dark hours, that we look to these people that we say, you know, I make a career out of it, but yet you want to support their career in your darkest times. And so for that, I really want to encourage our artists out there that don't sometimes see it as a feasible income or whatever. Take your chance, get back into the groove, take care of yourself, and hone in on your craft. Niche is here to support you with so much different resources out there. And so have that conversation with yourself, with your friends, or whoever you know that would be interested. But make sure we just have these conversations. It's important to all of us and the development of our country. And so with that, we go to our next commercial break. When we're back, we know it's the month of love, but a lot of people have not been feeling that love sometimes. When you think about the idea of being single during Valentine's and seeing all the cutesy kiss up pictures and all these things, you get like, I'm so over it. So we're going to be talking about the singles this time around, and great self-care tips to take care of you on Valentine's Day and in general when you think about all that's happening outside. Let's look and focus on what's happening with us. So we'll have an important conversation. We'll be right back.